What's up, everyone? It's Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Memphis Grizzlies versus Minnesota Timberwolves NBA matchup going down Friday, February 10th, 2023. Before we get to that free pick, gotta let you guys know at Pickdawgz.com, we're doing it bigger and better than anyone else. Got more free pick videos on our channel than you'll find anywhere else on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed and also take advantage of our free Sportsbook bonus offer. The link in the description of this video below. Now, I do love giving out free picks. If you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $15 best bet, check out Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get to this one between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Memphis Grizzlies coming into this game with a record of 33 and 21 on the year, 25, 28 and 1 against the number, after ending up with a 104-89 win over the Chicago Bulls at home in their last matchup. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves coming in with a record of 30 and 28 on the year, 28 and 30 against the number after a 134-118 win on the road over the Utah Jazz in their last matchup. Now alternating wins and losses in each of their last 7 games. And the Minnesota Timberwolves making a splash at the trade deadline, shipping D'Angelo Russell in a 3-team trade over to the Los Angeles Lakers. Minnesota getting some pieces back in return, with the likes of Mike Conley being acquired by Minnesota, as well as Nickeil Alexander-Walker and some draft picks as well. But now let's not to count out the Memphis Grizzlies. They made some moves as well. They got Luke Kennard from the Clippers, giving him an extra shooter, and definitely a consistent shooter as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams implement their pieces. But as far as I'm concerned, it's once again throwing a wrench into the chemistry of the other Minnesota Timberwolves. You did, like I keep mentioning, you brought in Rudy Gobert in the offseason. It's looked at times like there's still been some cohesive issues, or some issues with cohesion with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've been winning games, but still don't feel like the same team that took the NBA by storm and crashed the postseason last year. It'll probably be good for a postseason spot this year, but again, something just feels like it's not necessarily clicking and going at full gear, and all the gears aren't necessarily clicking at the same time for the Timberwolves. But again, we'll have to see how that goes. The Memphis Grizzlies are just going through a rough patch right now, and they did get a key win over the Chicago Bulls in their last matchup to sort of maybe try to break out of this funk where they've still lost 8 of their last 10 games. But now you have off-court issues, you have off-court rumblings with this whole Ja Morant situation with the Memphis Grizzlies. And while it may not be a big deal to some, the reality is that it's still lingering and it's still being brought up, in some media scrums, and, it's still out there and it's still a distraction. And I think these teams want to play basketball, but it's still sort of out circulating. And even if you take that off-court issue, rumblings and stuff like that out of the equation, the reality is that the Memphis Grizzlies offense hasn't been as electric as we've seen for much of the season. They scored 113 points or less in 8 of their last 9 games and are 9-1 to the under in their last 10 games. Minnesota's played some high-scoring games themselves as of late, but historically between Memphis and Minnesota, while you'd expect, some high-scoring games, we're seeing a lot of unders coming in. Some of them are just because of inflated totals, and the book's not necessarily adjusting to those numbers. So, we're 5-0 to the under in the last 5 meetings, 7-1 to the under in the last 8, and 8-2 to the under in their last 10. I'm going to go with the under here. I'm going to ride with the trends. I'm going to take the under 230, and that's going to be, 238.5, and that's going to be my free pick. But just a reminder, you can find my best bets at Pickdawgz Premium. And while you're at Pickdawgz, check out our betting tools. They're 100% free. They're the best betting tools in the business, and tools that you'll want to make sure that you have in your back pocket when you're making your best bets for the day's action. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. Let's cash some winners.